Tell Me More podcast is being recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures. Welcome to Tell Me More, where we have conversations about the good, the bad and the real. I'm your host, Olivia Molly Rogers. Hello and welcome back to Tell Me More. Today we have another episode of Ask Me More, where we answer questions submitted by you. And Daniel's going to be in charge of that, as always. Hey, Dan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm cold.
It's cold. It's a cold morning. It's going to be a nice day, but it's a cold morning.
It's always cold in here. Actually, no, it's not always cold in here. When it's really hot outside, it's quite hot in here. We have an issue with temperature control, but we're good otherwise.
We're good. How's your week? What's been happening?
My week has been good. I booked a last-minute trip to Adelaide to see my family because my brother and his fiancée live in Tokyo with their little baby boy, and it's very hot in Japan at the moment. So Molly wanted to get out of Japan for a bit and go to little old Adelaide. So I didn't want to miss them and miss seeing their little man. So I flew over and I saw so many babies in one day. I got to see his name's Morris, after our grandpa. He's so cute, little Maury. So I saw Maury, saw two girlfriends of mine who have 3 kids between them. My sister's had her 3rd baby. There was a lot of babies, and I love children, so it was really nice. I feel like a catch up with family and a catch up with little kids in particular is very good for the soul. And Winnie, my niece, she's my biggest fan, so she's very good for a little ego boost. I think she just thinks I'm funny and interesting and cool, and whatever I'm doing, she's impressed by. So it's really nice. I'm like, if I ever feel sad, I just need to go see Winnie and I'll feel instantly better. Actually, in saying that though, she made me feel sad because I told her that I had to go, and she was sitting on my lap looking at me really intensely and said, "But I want to see you every day." And I said, "I want to see you every day too. So it's lucky we can FaceTime each other." And she said, "But I want to see your whole body." And I was crying. Oh my God. It makes me so emotional. I feel like I miss out on a lot by living interstate, and it makes me sad. But yeah, anyway, it's positive, but also makes me sad.
That's nice though. It's very cute.
Yeah. Maybe I need to see your kids more to get my little kid fix.
Yeah, you should. You can have them.
Thank you. We'll be right back after this quick ad break. The Lululemon Fast and Free running collection might just be the most comfortable running gear I have ever worn. From the second I put it on, it felt like nothing in the best way. The fabric is ultra lightweight and it gives you that barely there feeling, but still supports you exactly where you need it. No pulling, no adjusting, no distractions, just me, the road ahead, and a clear mind. I'm slowly getting back into running post-marathon, and I'm so excited to have that runner's high again. There's not much better feeling, and having the right running gear adds so much to it. If you are looking for running gear that you don't notice when you run, this is it. Check them out at lululemon.com.au. Now back to the show.
There's a lot of questions that always people send, which we love, but we've also got a little bit of an overrated, underrated segment that we're going to talk through.
Let's do it.
I feel like we need like a sting in the middle between something.
You can put something in.
All right, someone wrote in, you were on a radio show last week or the week before, I think.
A couple of weeks ago.
So they've asked a question about that specific topic that you spoke of. I saw you spoke on a radio show recently about the word like. Can you tell me how to stop saying it so much?
Yeah, I went on this radio show. It's called Get Serial, which was really fun. I went to RMIT in the city because one of the girls who's just started on their radio show, it is funny how once you get behind a mic, you start realizing all of the things you say. So she's just started on the radio show. She realized that she says the word like a lot more than she would like to. And she wanted to know how to stop saying it so much. So she contacted me and asked me to come on because of my background in speech pathology, and then because I have this podcast, and I felt flattered because I think I use the word like sometimes too much. I think everybody does. It's just become part of our lexicon and it's hard to not use it. But the thing with the word like is it actually does have a purpose. And I think if you've become really conscious of saying it, even when you're using it in the right context, you think you're saying it incorrectly, or you shouldn't be saying it. So it has a purpose. You can use it to compare things, to give examples. Like when I would say, if I say my podcast is like another podcast, that is a good use of the word. When it's not being used correctly is when it's a filler. So if you are just throwing it in there because you're thinking of what to say next and you say, it's just, it doesn't have a purpose. It is to fill space. So my tip is to record yourself speaking. So if you're not someone who is behind a microphone and you notice yourself saying it in conversations, take yourself out of the conversations, record yourself speaking, or if you're on the phone to someone, get another recording device, another phone, and record parts of your conversation. Listen to it back, see when you're using it the most, and then just try to be a bit more conscious of it. And rather than replacing it with another filler word, just pause. I think people get quite uncomfortable with the idea of pausing, so we always feel like we need to fill in the space. See, the use of word like there was actually right. Another one. No one's going to have perfect speech, but if you can pause, pausing is actually fine. I had a lecturer at uni for speech pathology. He was the linguistics and phonetics lecturer, and he was mid-lecture once and he just paused out of nowhere, mid-conversation. Like this, I'm not going to keep doing it because that's going to be annoying for the listeners, but he paused for 7 seconds and everyone started looking at each other being like, is he all right? Because it was so strange and felt so uncomfortable. And he said it takes about 7 seconds for people to feel really uncomfortable, which is why they then enter the conversation and fill the space. But 7 seconds is actually quite long. So you could pause for 2 seconds and the person that's listening isn't going to feel uncomfortable. They're just going to be waiting for you to speak. So yeah, I think my point is we need to be more comfortable with pauses and to just stop and think, but also know that it's okay to say the word like, and no one is ever going to have perfect speech. Perfect example.
Yes.
No one is ever going to have perfect speech. And the goal of communication is not to have perfect speech. It is to share our ideas and thoughts and connect with people. So yeah, perfection is not going to be, trying to speak perfectly is not going to bode well for most people because it'll stop you from speaking altogether.
That's very interesting. Do you have actual there you go. Now there you, is it contagious?
No, I think you just become self-conscious. I've had the experience so many times where if I've said I am a speech pathologist or I'm not practicing at the moment. So if I say I have a degree in speech pathology, my communication partner, whoever's listening to me, will suddenly become more conscious of their speech. And I don't think it's a good thing. It sucks. I think I worry now that the rest of the episode you're going to be self-conscious and you're not going to be able to get your words out.
I will be. Fine. All right, moving on. How did Hugo go with his colonoscopy?
This is a very great question. He went well, and so Hugo had a colonoscopy last Friday. And I shared a story that I picked up his movie prep, which is the gross prep drink that you have to have before to clear everything out. And the reason you have to clear everything out is so that they can get a camera in there and see everything without any obstructions. And I posted a story because he's super open about it. He doesn't care. And I heard him on work calls being like, oh yeah, I've got tomorrow off because I'm having a colonoscopy. And I thought it's so great that he talks about it so openly because I think it has been such a taboo topic for so long. And he said people got he told a woman on the flight he was on back from Perth because he went to Rolled and got some broth and chicken because, you also have to have a white diet for people who don't know, you have to eat white foods for the 2 days. Then you have this drink, this prep drink. And he was having that on the plane and the ladies were like, oh, you brought your dinner on. And he said, yeah, I've got a colonoscopy tomorrow. And he said their faces, they seem to be uncomfortable because I think some people find it a bit jarring still. But Hugo's brother had bowel cancer. So Hugo and their sister and their mum need to have regular colonoscopies, because once you've got bowel cancer in the family, particularly a family member who is so close, it is really important to have regular checks. And I have to have my yearly colonoscopies because I've got polyposis. And yeah, so together we talk about that stuff quite a bit. We're very open about it. And I think it's so important. I think, I know I had so many messages from people saying, thank you for sharing this, or you previously speaking about your colonoscopies was the reason that I went and got one and I'd been putting it off, and they found polyps and now I have to have regular ones. And I don't want people to be scared off. I don't want this to scare people, because I know it can be confronting, but I always think it's better to have the information and get checked. And yeah, if me and Hugo now being open about it can encourage people to take that step and look after themselves and not be so embarrassed about it, then I think it's really positive. So, but yeah, he was in the clear. So it was good news.
That's great news.
We'll be right back after this quick ad break. Can we talk about the runner's high for a second? I used to think it was a myth, but it is very real and I have missed it. I'm finally getting back into some very slow runs post-marathon, and I tried the Lululemon Fast and Free running collection, and honestly, I felt unstoppable. It's so lightweight, nothing rides up, nothing distracts. Your body moves freely and your mind actually gets a break. If you're like me and you need the mental reset just as much as the workout, highly recommend. This set is a 10 out of 10. Lululemon Fast and Free. Feels like nothing, runs like nothing else. Learn more at lululemon.com.au. Now back to the show.
What's a social media pet peeve that makes you instantly scroll past?
I have a couple. But the main one for me, and I know that this is a me problem, not a them problem, I think it's called misophonia, which is a phobia of mouth noises. So if someone is eating on a story or a reel, mukbang or ASMR, chewing, I don't care how important it is what you're about to say, I will not watch it if you are eating. I just can't. Or even sipping water. There's a girl that I follow who I love, but she often she has this big water bottle and she sips from it, and I can hear this glugginess, and I just hate it so much. And anyway, I used to get annoyed at my mum and my sister for eating noisily, and instead of them then closing their mouths, they'd be like, get therapy. I'm like, okay, I have, but my therapy hasn't helped me with this. I don't know what to do about it, but it really gets to me.
Get therapy is a great comeback to anyone.
Yeah, well, I did get therapy and it hasn't helped with that.
Can you read us the last text message from Hugo?
Ooh, okay. I hope it's a good one. Could be about poos. He often sends a couple together. So do I read literally just the one last one, or?
Without context, if it's all one thing. We want the context.
He said, that's a shame, my love, but hopefully meant you got a bit extra rest and less crunched to get to the studio. That's exciting. Can't wait to see you in your final outfit. Photo, please. And then he sent a song and said, always think of you when I hear this song. Do you need context for the rest of it? I slept through my alarm this morning, so I didn't do a workout. That's what he's referring to. And then I have an event tonight, and the song is Cinema. Benny Benassi.
That's very cute.
I know. Well done, Hugo. That's a good one to open up to. Also, I just want to confirm that this is literally the last message. I'm not making this up.
I feel like that could go any way at any given time. So well done.
It really could.
All right, we're going to do overrated, underrated.
All right.
So you need to tell us, pretty obvious, if what we tell you is overrated, underrated, or maybe it's neither. Maybe it's perfectly rated.
Mm-hmm.
First one, oversized blazers.
Oh, I love them. But whenever I wear, so I think they're rated well, but I think other people think they're overrated. A lot of people don't like them. Whenever I put it on, people say, oh, that blazer doesn't fit you. I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of the point. It's oversized.
Okay. So probably well rated, but.
Can I say well rated?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think society think they're overrated. I think they're rated.
Okay.
I rate them.
All right. Trending coffees like the Mont Blanc orange matcha foam, like all these trending
Overrated. I just want a normal good coffee.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Crocs.
Overrated.
Agreed. Not my kids will say otherwise though. Their kids love Crocs.
Oh, kids fine.
Yeah.
But if you're an adult, sorry, no, you're not wearing Crocs, are you, Steph? No.
Would that change your answer?
I would just feel bad, but I still think they're overrated.
Group holidays.
I don't know. Are they overrated? It depends on the friends. Depends on the group. I like going away with a group of people. I did that recently. We went away with a group of friends and I loved it. But I think it depends on where you're going. It depends on how long you're going for. I think you need more context than just that, don't you?
I think it's rated as badly. So I think people would say going on a group holiday isn't good.
A good idea.
So I mean, that's what I think people would think.
Yeah.
So if it's rated,
well, then I think it's maybe underrated. I think it's fun. I although in saying that, I love having a holiday or a getaway that's just Hugo and I. But I also think sometimes it's fun to go with a group and then you can go off and do your own thing and then come back together. But yeah, it depends on the place, depends on how long for. I think if you were going for a month, you probably don't want to be with a big group.
It's really hard if you have to do every single activity with a group because
no, that's too much.
Yeah, you have to, or if the group wants to do every single activity together.
Yeah.
I'll go do my own thing. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hydration gels when running.
I think they're well rated. Because I think people who don't run probably think they're overrated, but I can't do a long run without them. I think they're really important.
Dating apps.
I think it's better to ask you than ask me that question.
Hey, whoa, hang on a minute. Overrated. Or maybe not overrated. Maybe people don't rate them. There's a lot of people on them, so I think they're overrated.
Yeah, they're probably overrated, but then you hear great stories of people meeting the love of their life on an app. So
yeah, I have friends that have met their now wives and husbands on apps. So
yeah.
I suppose that's a good thing.
A friend of mine married her husband and they met on Bumble, and on their wedding day, her dad had little bumblebee cufflinks. They fully lent into the whole thing. Yeah.
Traveling for work.
Overrated.
Relevant as well because you leave tomorrow.
Well, no. Okay, that's going to sound really ungrateful because I get to do some amazing things. I was more thinking Hugo travels for work every single week. He goes to Perth on a Monday, back at about midnight on a Thursday, and he's been doing that for 5 months. And I think you're sort of like, oh, travel for work sounds fun. Like it'd be nice to stay in a nice hotel and there would be lots of great things about it. But when in reality, when you're doing it, it is not that good. It's a lot of admin. It's a lot of time away from home. I think it's overrated, but it is, for me, I think I'm very grateful. I get to do some amazing things. I think it's more if it's someone who has to go like a bit of a FIFO kind of thing, that's not good.
I am on your side on this one too. It's overrated. I do a lot of travel for work and it's not as glam as what people think it is.
Yeah, if you're working the entire time, it's just work in a different place.
It makes it harder actually to work because you're always moving around.
And you don't have all your creature comforts and like guaranteed every week Hugo forgets something.
Biscoff.
Probably overrated. I feel like everyone's putting it in everything except that tiramisu. We went to an event recently and it was the best tiramisu I have ever had, and that was Biscoff. By
far the best I've ever had. And also I was massively on the Biscoff is overrated bandwagon, if that's a bandwagon.
But this has changed
That changed my mind completely.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Personality star signs.
Wait, as in like horoscopes?
Judging personalities based on star signs, I think. Like horoscopes.
Overrated. I think we've had this conversation before. I went on a date with a psychologist and he said to me within the first few minutes, he said, "You're a Capricorn, aren't you?" And I said, "No." He said, "Taurus." I said, "No." He said, "Well, what then?" Really aggressively. I was like, I'm saying like. I said, "I'm a Pisces." And he said, "Oh, okay, makes sense." I said, "Well, it probably doesn't make sense to you because you just got it wrong a couple of times." Anyway, I didn't say that. But then the rest of the conversation, he was so fixated on horoscopes. I said something about my mum. He said, "What star sign is she?" I said, "She's a Scorpio." He said, makes sense. And then he kept referring to people by their star signs and how it all made sense. But I thought if you really knew what you were talking about and if it was so real that you could pick it like that, then you wouldn't have to ask. And also I was thinking, does he say that to his clients when they come and sit in the chair? He said, they say they're depressed and he said, oh, it's very Piscean of you. I think it's overrated. It's annoying. I think sometimes it's fun if you read a horoscope and it aligns and you think, oh, wow, yeah, this works for me. But I think we have confirmation bias and we see what we want to see. So, yeah.
Agreed. Girl dinner.
Oh, underrated. I love girl dinner.
Leaving voice notes instead of texting.
Okay, I'm guilty of this if I'm driving, but I really try my best to keep it to a minute. And if I've gone over a minute, I will stop and start again. I have a friend who leaves me voice notes and she will probably listen to this. And if she does, I love you. But she leaves me voice notes that go between 5 to 7 minutes. And you can't speed it up. If I could speed it up, fine. But it's so long and I can't then exit out and do something else while I'm listening to it. And I think that's what bugs me the most. I can't be multitasking and listening. I have to stop in my tracks and listen. And then also so I want to take notes on what she's saying because it's so long and I don't want to miss something. Anyway, I think they're overrated. What do you think?
Absolutely overrated.
Says me on a podcast talking nonstop and I want people to listen to the entire thing, but.
I'm okay. I agree with the car thing. Like every now and then you'll do it. Every now and then that's okay. Some people are just voice notes.
Yeah.
And some people send just voice notes to me on like Instagram message. I don't know. And I don't have time to listen to them a lot of the time. So then they get buried and then I don't. And now they transcript them. So I'm like reading the transcript instead of listening because I'm in a meeting or something. I don't like them. I don't want them. I'll always text back just to counter. I don't want to have any part of it. So I'll text back.
How annoyed do you get when you text back and then they send another voice note?
Yeah, they'll do that. They're like, oh yeah, cool. I'm like, and then don't they disappear as well unless you hold to keep them? So then you've got these.
I think they stay.
Oh, do they stay?
I think they stay now. But yeah,
I don't like them.
I think they serve a purpose, but we don't need to be sending each other podcast episodes.
Yeah, I don't get back to them.
Or just call me.
A Vegemite.
A Vegemite?
No, Vegemite. I think I are Vegemited.
I love Vegemite. So well rated, underrated. I think a lot of people hate it.
I do too. I like it, but I think a lot of people don't like it.
Steph, thoughts?
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. Doing a hobby for yourself offline.
I think underrated. I think I have an issue with this because I document my life. I find it hard to do things just for the sake of enjoying it and not feeling pressure to then share it. And it's a big part of the reason I haven't painted enough in the last couple of years because I feel this pressure to paint something perfect because if I'm painting it, I should share it. Yeah, anyway, I think it's underrated. I think we need to do more things that are just for us and not for social media.
Pineapple on pizza.
Underrated. I really like it. We can't be friends. I think Hugo's the same. I really like it. I like pineapple on pizza. I like pineapple in burgers.
I don't like heated up fruit.
I like it.
Heated up fruit, does that mean you don't like poached?
No. That's a dessert. As soon as you go into the dessert phase.
You don't like your fruit on savoury things?
Yeah. I like pineapple the way it was meant to be. Fake freckles.
Probably overrated, but I do them sometimes.
There's people getting tattoos.
Yeah, I think that is probably a little bit extreme. I also feel funny about it because you're giving yourself something that people used to get teased for. So it's interesting that a lot of people like fake freckles. I think overrated if it's at the point where people want to get tattoos off them, but they're a bit of fun. It's like any makeup, like putting something on your face it's fun. You can play around with it, be creative, but I don't think that it needs to go that far.
All right, last one. Public breakups.
Is this an attack? That's a tricky one because they're overrated. They suck. I don't think you can have a public profile in any capacity these days without your breakup being somewhat public. So it just is what it is. People want to know details. I know I got dissed a lot because early days when it happened, I said, I don't want to talk about it. Please respect my privacy. And then I've spoken about it, but I did that because I didn't want to talk about it at the time because it was very traumatic and there was a lot going on. And now that I've healed, I am happy to talk about it because I think it helps other people. And I think that's how we learn from each other about all sorts of experiences, is by, sharing our hard times. So I think it's overrated going through it, but it's good to talk about.
Agreed. That's it. Well done. That was fun.
Thanks.
Oranges and lemons.
Oranges and lemons. My orange is that I have a really exciting work trip that I'm going on tomorrow for a whole week.
Underrated though. I mean, overrated.
Travel for work. No,
Travel for work.
I stand by what I said. It's overrated for some situations. For me, I think I'm very, very lucky.
This one's underrated.
I get to go to Hamilton Island. I've never been to Hamilton Island, and it is for race week. It is a yacht race week. Actually, you know much about it beforehand. And I am going with American Express, and I'm really excited because it's going to be a great week. Hugo gets to come for a couple of days, and Dan's brother used to live on Hamilton Island, so I'm getting all his recommendations, and I'm really excited to check it out. Apparently there are some amazing hikes, and yeah, so very excited for that. My lemon is that I have an inspection happening right now at my place, and I left in chaos this morning. So I'm feeling very stressed about the fact that the apartment didn't look like what I wanted it to look like, and they're inspecting. And I also just really hate the thought of someone being there without me being there. So that's my lemon.
Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Inspections.
What about you? Orange in my head?
I already told you this last night, but I'm going to package my oranges and lemons because it's funny, and I guess it's kind of a lemon. My daughter Geordie is 4, and she was going to bed last night, and she was just lingering around and wasn't getting into bed. And so I said, "Can you please hurry up and get into bed?" She goes, "I am, Dad. I'm not fucking around." And I stopped and I said, "Excuse me?" And I said, "You can't use that bad adult language." And she then just burst into tears. And she cried for 5 minutes straight. Like, I couldn't stop her crying. And it was because she knew she was in trouble. So I let her cry it out a little bit. And then I said, "Geordie, why are you crying?" And she said, in tears, she said, "Because I said fucking." I said, "Well, you've just said it again." So anyway, I couldn't help but like burst out into laughter when she said it the second time. And my son Brooklyn, who's a very good boy, would never say it out loud. He's 6 and he's a little less chaotic, and he's a bit more scared of consequence. He was scared. He was in his bed like hiding, but also not wanting to laugh. I think he was like hiding his laughter. He didn't want to be seen as enjoying the swear words.
I just love that, instead of her saying, "I'm crying because I'm in trouble," I'm crying because I said fucking.
Also, don't know where she got "stop fucking around," or I don't know, like, because I don't think I say that. So anyway, that's probably the lemon. Like, why is that in your vernacular? But the orange was that it was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing after.
Yeah, your text made me laugh out loud. Keep content is the best kind of content ever. You've got to make sure you have that recorded somewhere, the story.
I know.
Because I think these are the things that you think you'll never forget because they're so funny in the moment, but then all sorts of things happen. And
I wish I'd captured it.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you for the answers.
Anytime.
Have a great time in Hamo.
Thanks. See you soon.
See you soon.
Thank you so much for listening to Tell Me More. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave us a review, share it with your friends, and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Your help in growing this community would mean so much to me.